Welcome acolytes. Today I am watching Witcher 4 faces massive backlash. Devs admit to abandoning lore and long-time fans for new players. Let's just see what she has to, well, where the proof lies, and if it's true, I'm gonna be honest, all the hate I got, worth it. I had my fun with the freaks, and now there will be proof that the freaks in CD Projekt Red are freaking stupid ass, politically driven, dumb people. Well, maybe not dumb, but definitively not the intelligent kind, as my comment section on the trailer video proves.
When you're a developer and you have an award-winning formula, it's typically best to not stray from that because you'll most likely face major backlash, but that's exactly what's happening with The Witcher 4. While
Of course, because your politics are way more important than doing a good game. So, hey, if you want shit, you get shit. I won't buy shit.
we do not have a lot of information on it so far, the trailer that debuted at the Game Awards has caused quite the controversy because of them moving away from Geralt, moving in the direction of Ciri, and changing around the lore. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I absolutely love the Witcher games. I think...
By the way, Vera, what functions way better than I even ever dared to hope is saying subscribe and like, because the buttons glow. A lot of people actually quite like that. I stopped it because I personally am a proud Lich that actually thinks, okay, if my content is worth anything, people will subscribe and like the video anyway. Or that's the new thing I'm thinking about, and I hope this stays.
That they are phenomenal, even if, yes, at times they also are not exactly accurate to the source material, because the books do have a lot of things that are, just not really represented within the games, but they're still really fantastic.
I'm gonna agree with her. The games aren't perfectly lore reflected from the books, but it's a game. But it also doesn't cripple any freaking thing that is there. It doesn't literally shit on everything that the book represented. Until now.
Experiences, you still get these amazing characters that have a lot of depth to them, this vast, expansive world. And that's why so many people were looking forward to The Witcher 4. But now that we have some information about this game, there's a lot of questions and not a lot of clarifications that people were really hoping to hear. We thought that they were going to continue down the path of maybe having Geralt be at least a lead character for a portion of it, and while he will be in it to some certain extent, we of course know that they are going in the direction of Ciri, but it's not just that, oh, they happen to have Ciri as a lead character. No, they have completely disregarded the lore, which I'm going to get into in a second, but as...
Oh, she's gonna good, because I just wanted to kneel in. But, oof, yes, it's not even that Ciri is the main character. I don't care about that much. It's the fact that she's a witcher, that the lore was totally ignored, and she is uglier than in the last games. I'm gonna make... I don't know, because I wanted to do a video about this entire thing, but also on the other hand, I just don't know if I have the time for it, because it will still be a quick and dirty one. No, I'm gonna do it. I did weekend, maybe I'm gonna make it out of pure spite today, but right now, no.
As this article says, CD Projekt Red's The Witcher 4 trailer has been decried for seemingly turning Ciri into a full-blown Witcher and abandoning the lore of the novels. So, CDPR released the first trailer for The Witcher 4, which depicts Ciri as a Witcher, which is contrary to the lore the creator Andrzej Sapkowski in his original novels depicted, as well as certain endings in CD Projekt Red's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which, by the way, The Witcher 3 is one of the best video games ever created. In the trailer seen below, Ciri is shown seemingly wielding the abilities of a Witcher by drinking a potion, as well as casting what appears to be signs. However, in the books, Ciri never becomes a Witcher. Now, there's controversy because of the changes that they're making. There's also controversy because of the way that she looks. And in my opinion, I don't think that she looks terrible here. In the Witcher 3 promo material, Geralt looked pretty rough, so I didn't really think that this would be her complete in-game model. I mean, we're still probably years away from this releasing.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna repeat the thing that I said in my video. I don't think that Ciri looks ugly here. And to be completely honest, I would bang her. Simple as that. Because a lot of morons don't understand this. But she definitively looks way uglier than her Witcher 3 counterpart. And it's not the fact that she is actually older or something like that. No. It's the fact that she got uglified. That's a very, very, very different point of view than she ugly, it bad. No. She got uglified for absolutely no reason. That's what I am freaking mad about. That's why I say DEI. Not because she's a woman. Not because she's older in the trailer. It's because she's uglified for absolutely no reason.
Probably won't even be till like 2026 or 2027, so I'm sure that they are going to work on her in-game model and hopefully even, reuse her Witcher 3 in-game model and then just tweak it a little bit, age her up. And we don't know how much time has passed. I'd assume it's like 5 years, but...
Yeah, and because she already said that CD Projekt Red actually ignores the lore. There you have it. So basically 80% of the people that argue with me on lore basis, there you have it. And even half of you didn't even know the lore. There you have it. They completely ignored the lore for new players. Please, argue again. So basically, as I've thought from the start, 70% of you are just nonsense, talking nonsense. At a bare minimum, you don't know shit. And if you really want to say, okay, that she got older, because the only argument that I can see is, hey, we don't know the time lapse here, and I would even agree with that. We don't know the time lapse here, but she's a Witcher. So lore-wise, let's get ignored, by the way. Witcher get older extremely slow. So the freaking time, just time doesn't attack Witchers as harsh as normal people. And if you want to say, hey, okay, how much time would it have to be? I think so we can justify this much of an uglification. It had to be bare minimum, and this is just an estimation of mine, because of course I don't know how this works to 100%. Nobody knows, except for the writer himself. But I would say about a 40-year time lapse. That would justify the crackling down the Ciri is having right now.
Ciri doesn't look terrible in my opinion, though she was very angry.
Sorry for that. That's the problem when I record while it's daytime. I'm gonna get interrupted from time to time. But hey, let's continue.
And brooding within this, initial announcement trailer, which isn't super Ciri. I mean, yes, she was very serious, she was very broody at times, but in totality, she was still young, so she was very much so kid-like, very, hopeful for the world, and that did not translate here. And,
No, I mean, we're still talking about the Witcher world, so just because Ciri got a bit grimmer, this doesn't affect me personally as much, as I said, if you get older, you just get more cynical. That's just a fact of life. You get way more careful, you know that shit can go down. So that's not the bad thing. We're not talking about getting a bit more grimmer and more cynical. That's not the problem here, at least I think.
I don't think it's going to surprise anyone to hear they've decided to move away from the existing lore and turn Ciri into the, first official female Witcher. She was the closest thing that we ever had to a female Witcher, and it made sense to have her in the next game, but why call it The Witcher 4? Why not a new series? I get that Geralt...
No, you know what? It's total bollocks that they called it Witcher 4. That's so freaking stupid. And I don't know why they actually did Ciri that dirty. Why make her a witcher? She was a sorceress. We don't have a lot of stories about sorceress. We just don't have a witcher sorceress. You could do with that basically what you want. It would be fine. Make her that. Why a witcher, for fuck's sake? Why? Because I think it's way easier to program. It's not as... the animations for magic and the extremely broad range of magic you can have in a Witcher world is way harder to program than swinging a sword. That's what I think. They basically just effed us fans over for... first of all, for political reasons, and second of all, just because they want to save some money.
Geralt is in it to some extent. You're probably going to have to consult with him. You're probably going to have to talk to him and get his opinions. But The Witcher was always Geralt, and now it's a new Witcher. But in the third game, there's also obviously a lot of different endings. And yes, for one of them, which is the good ending, is either Ciri becoming Empress or her taking over for Geralt. So yeah, I think that we all...
Am I freaking crazy? I got the ending where Geralt is in his mansion and Ciri sits on the couch and they just chatter with each other. Because yes, I didn't give a fuck about the romance in the game. I was fully concentrated on Ciri. Ciri is the freaking little girl that I read since I was a boy. So, I don't know, I don't remember correctly which ending this is, but I'm gonna look it up at one point, because this is just... You're talking about two endings from, I don't know, 5?
All kind of expected with, modern day companies. Ciri would definitely be the lead or at least a major part of this game. But I still think a lot of us were not expecting for them to move away from the existing lore. And now, of course, CD Projekt Red has confirmed that she's undertaken the Trial of Grasses, which is just so far-fetched. It was only ever young boys who undertook it. Roughly 70% died, and there has never been a female who lived through it. Now,
not entirely correct. There were tests made on females, but they all died. It's a 100% death rate. Yeah, it's as simple as that. And technically, in the lore, as it stands, you could theorize that a trial that's specifically for females would be possible. They won't be specifically a witcher, or not the witches that we know, but there would be a way, a trial that could make female witches, but they would be a bit different. I don't get why... Okay, technically, not saying it's in the lore, but technically, it would be possible, it would make logical sense lore-wise, technically.
Yes, the games did alter some of the lore, like I mentioned, from the books. They were not 100% accurate, but they were still fantastic. And maybe this will be. I'm not sitting here saying that this is going to be an absolute trash game just because of one announcement teaser. I mean, I thought that it still looked like it had a lot going for it, but there's a lot of questions I personally have, and it'll be years until the game comes out and a lot of speculation. but it still doesn't sit well with me and, of course, a lot of other fans hearing the devs say this next piece of information that they are aiming for new players and people who do not play their games.
Okay, let's get out the snipping tools. I just want to catch that for me. Just gonna save it quickly. Good.
To actually show up and purchase this game, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Like, they don't care about the old fans, probably because there's more changes made to this than, you know, we saw in this initial teaser, and they know older fans will be upset and might not even buy the game. So they're initially just saying, oh yeah, we want all sorts of new fans to actually show up and buy this. And hey, I will always recommend the first 3 games. They are fantastic. I will always recommend the books. It is so good.
I agree with her on that. There isn't a lot to say. Even my family members, the children, I always say, read the books for F's sake. Just read them. They are good books. But the irony on the entire thing is, with this proclamation, the fans that are right now arguing for Witcher 4, you're not even welcome there. They're aiming for new players. Not you. They don't give a fuck about you. And I am happy about that. Every single one of you fuckers wasted your time. And now you don't have to realize, because freaks will be freaks. But they don't give a shit about you. Who would have thought that a gigantic company influenced by a politically active, politically driven fanatics don't give a shit about you. They want new players. You're irrelevant. So, little drone, defend them. Defend them as long as you can. And at the end, they won't give a shit about you.
Even though the English translation isn't exactly accurate, and it does get rid of a lot of the kind of Polish lore, and it kind of dumbs it down for English readers, I still think that it's really well done. And we know Andre is writing another book, which is going to be really, really cool. And of course, I'm super excited for. But I still have hope for The Witcher 4. I'm not sitting here saying I have no hype for it. You know, Witcher, fantastic. I want them to do good. But there are a lot of questions I have. And hearing them admit that they're aiming for new players and people who don't play their games to show up and play this game is just a giant red freaking flag. And ultimately, yeah, I think that this was all done on purpose because they want to replace Geralt and have a female Witcher. They could have used Geralt for as long as they wanted, but they wanted to go ahead with a female, lore accurate or not, because of the DEI focus that CD Projekt Red has been known to be following. And yeah, I just have a lot of questions and a lot of concerns, and it's hard to sit here and blindly support this. You know, we're still, again, probably years away from this launch, but yeah, this is obviously going to be a very controversial decision that they've made, and a lot of people are making posts online talking about how they're pretty upset over this. Aiden Paladin said, ignoring the uglification of Ciri, which is just par for the course now, nothing about this makes sense. Women cannot drink Witcher potions because females cannot survive the Trial of Grasses, but I don't remember exactly which developer confirmed it, but one of the devs did confirm that she has undergone the Trial of Grasses, and she was successful, obviously, because she's still alive. Again, I don't think that she really looks super ugly in this. She looks older, and we don't know how much time has passed. If they try to say it's like under, I don't know, 8 years, then I'm not going to believe it because she really wouldn't look that different. If they're saying it's like 15 years, then okay, yeah, she would look kind of different, even though her facial structure is different in this teaser, but
No. I think a lot of people arguing for and against it just forget the little known fact that Witcher age extremely slow. I know how many times I have to say it. Witchers age way slower. Yeah, sorry. It's just even from the perspective, like it just doesn't make sense that she looks like she looks. If she's under, I don't know, if the time passage was like 40 years, yes, perfect. Then it would fit in my opinion. It doesn't have to be exactly 40, by the way. I don't think it has to be exactly this because I'm so knowledgeable. But more or less, the aging has to be in this range.
Geralt didn't look the best in the original promo material pieces for The Witcher 3 either. I'm just hoping that her in-game model will look pretty decent, but in a time when games are being so heavily...
Yes, and Geralt, in the books that he got inspired from, is a very ugly motherfucker. He's not pretty. He's not even good to look at. He's an ugly mofo. So that even like in the trailers, it makes sense that he doesn't look correct. I mean, I'm happy we got the new Geralt because he looks attractive. So that's okay with me. I don't care. He still looks rough, but not as ugly as in the books. And I like the change, I personally. But hey, I think everyone's for themselves.
heavily criticized, and we really are paying attention. We're scrutinizing pieces of content that are releasing. You'd think that the developers would do extra well, but it seems that they really don't care. Barely any males can. Ciri was trained briefly in combat by the Witchers at Kaer Morhen, but mostly because they had no idea how else to raise a child. They gave her herbs to enhance her strength, but they never gave her the mutagens. I mean, she was already older at that point, and she was a female, so they were like, what the fuck do you want us to do here? There's nothing that we can do. I assume there is a new writing team for The Witcher 4, since the lore and continuity gets completely shattered right in the teaser trailer. It not only contradicts the Witcher novels, but also the first 3 games, a stunning achievement. I will always recommend reading books in series. Go ahead and read the books if you have not already. They are fan-freaking-tastic. And again, Andre is making another, and I have a feeling that, this is not going to be exactly what we want out of The Witcher 4. Insane levels of historical revisionism and lore breaking already. Apparently, The Witcher was always Ciri and is more important than Geralt, despite not even appearing in the first 2 games. Also, she took the Trial of Grasses, despite it not working on females.
Ciri was for a long time not even a character. She was the MacGuffin. She was the thing that Geralt was looking after. After a while, she became a main character, a very beloved main character. From Deus Ex Machina or MacGuffin to a beloved character.
Or adults. Yes, Ciri was always a central character, don't get me wrong, but she was never The Witcher. And if you're going to call this game
Correct.
The Witcher 4, one would deduce The Witcher in the 4th would be Geralt. They could have done some kind of spin-off, which was Ciri basically doing the same thing as a Witcher, only she's not officially a Witcher, which would have been perfectly fine because...
Yes, and think freaking heavier magic powers. A melee magic hybrid. Boom. Perfect. Show us a different part of the lore. Don't cripple it.
see her as a great character and it would have made sense, but they're going in this brand new direction, which, yeah, is definitely not going to sit well with people. All the shills are out hyping up Witcher 4. All the honest people saw they made the main character a woman who breaks lore in her new role and who was made significantly uglier than she used to be. Both are red flags for an extremely woke game. So we're probably not going to get this for years and years and years. It wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't come out till like 2026 or 2027. So
By the way, not gonna get this for years. Yeah, true. And I hope that by that time the pendulum swings far enough back so this shit gets fixed. I really hope that. For everyone's sake.
We'll be keeping my eye on this, and I'm sure that we are going to get a lot more interviews over the next couple of weeks, especially now that there's so much backlash surrounding this title. But I have a lot of questions, not a lot of answers, and the few answers we do have do not sit well with me because they're aiming this game towards new players and people who do not play their games, and they are completely contradicting.
Wait, that just...
and abandoning the lore of the novels. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike.
Good, beautiful. Thank you. I always forget her name. Vara Dark. I'm just gonna call her Dark. Ironically enough. Shit, comments. But hey. Okay, wait, give me a second. Yep, the next one. So this one, she looks great. I don't know what you're thinking, so you are seeing, but you need to chill out. This chill in the future. So this is one of the guys that just got caught by CD Projekt Red. The game isn't for you, mate. Okay, good. As it is, acolytes, good night.